Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, New Order Last Year's Europe as the state of Guangdong. Now, last video, conflict broke out in Indonesia, and we had to, got the opportunity to send some of our new fancy tanks up there. So we're gonna send them right up here, up through, Sumatra. We're also getting closer to passing an anti-corruption ordinance, but still some time left on that, methinks. So we got some time. The corruption ordinance would be nice, but I'm nervous we won't be able to pass it. So I think what we're going to do, work down some of our police stuff. Starting with strongly built. A building with a lackluster foundation, no matter how opulent or magnificent it becomes, will eventually inevitably collapse. The police force will have to be either ripped apart and trained from the top. Its officers will be drilled and worked intensively as to ensure that they are proficiently understand and are able to account as well as perform the procedures for the enforcement of policies and laws and methods of handling dissent and violence. Before the training is able to begin, however, we must first address decadent excesses that gather around the police force, completely incapable of personnel leeching off the resources of administration. These elements will be assuredly and swiftly eliminated, as there is no room for incompetence in effective and productive force. Well, there we go. Checking up here. Reinforce the police. Actually, we can't. We don't have the political power. Fair enough. Quality will be increasing soon enough. 85%. Good overall. So what's new in the life of Kev? I'm asking the important question to ask, as always. How's the chat doing today? Formation for West African Alliance. Advancements in power efficiency. I think my bulbs are brighter now. Did the rain just stop? The rain just stopped. And now there's a storm down here. You're kidding me. I gotta go back now. God damn it. CSR goes closer to America. Interesting. It's my birthday in 3... Holy shit! Happy early birthday, laddie. What do you want? Other than Tabby to win. That much is clear already. 14th of March, best day of the year. Now it's my birthday. It's International Steak and Blowjob Day. Yep. I knew I remembered that one. Another 2 extortion incidents resolved with 5 assailants apprehended. Announcing the walkie-talkie. Lam Yu Chiung listened half-heartedly reached for the door to his station. Lam Yu Chiung's listened half... I already read that. 2 whole criminal offenses in his district alone, during the mere 10 minutes it took to walk here from his apartment. He averted his gaze from the colleagues jubilant at the news as he strode in, where he saw no occasion to celebrate, only another heinous scar upon Koshu's streets, another aftershock refusing to subside, the ground zero of it all, the all-devouring economic catastrophe, seemingly as if barely months ago. He gave out an exasperated sigh as he turned to his familiar staff list, and was promptly hit by a pang of indescribable dread. This was not the usual list, he instantly knew. 13 persons too few, 13 names reduced to blank rows on the paper. A whole quarter of the subordinate officers gone. At once it flooded back to his brain. The shattered window, the silver-toothed grins of Yakuza, the concrete bricks centimeters away from him, sending him to a coma. A hell on earth, left rampant by an understaffed and underprepared law enforcement, a living nightmare, now repeating before his very eyes. A sitted anguish bubbled up in his throat as he opened his mouth in protest. Don't pity them. Interrupting him was the disinterested voice of Officer Kimi, a senior sitting by a cup of steaming tea and not even bothering to turn his head. They're a bunch of good-for-nothing leeches deserving some whipping before they're fit to serve anyway. You're one of the best we have, Haiishi, but do remember not everyone's at your level before you decide to make a fuss. With these words, he stood up and left, leaving Lam staring out of the glass panes, dumbfounded. He supposed there is truth to Senior's reasoning that accompanied officers like him need not concern themselves with yet lesser men, yet he found no such comfort in such a reality. Decreased police control, god damn it. But, motherfucker stole my joke. Is that a joke? I thought it was just a date. I didn't realize a date is a joke. Alright, we only really need higher standards. Because we really need the extra support in the non-major cities. So we can enforce higher standards. That will get us to lose a seat. That decreases police support. I think I want to get working on the some of this. I was going to follow up with what I want my birthday is pretty self-explanatory. Oh, I understand. I get you. The most corrupt parts of our country is the Yakuza. The crime organization in Japan, while extremely powerful in its home country, have insurmountable power here in Guangdong. They're everywhere. The streets, casinos, police departments, and thanks for shady owns Matsushita's predecessor, even within the government. Matsushita sees the Yakuza as a danger to both his power and the efficiency of a nation. In order for Matsushita's plans to work without disruption, he must first eliminate his criminal rival. I just realized something. Sleeping Dogs would be the same game as Yakuza, probably. If that makes sense. That might not make sense. Let me explain. I think Yakuza and Sleeping Dogs, they basically would take place in the same universe. I see. Okay, I'm not totally crazy. Kev understands me. I'll see. I can see it. Okay, I'm not totally crazy. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Let go by 2 seats. Excellent. It's not perfect. It's not realistic. It's not even pleasant to look at. It's a future, and you would be fooled to think that the future was warm and comforting experience. What is the product even? The TC96G Saga home color television. Oh, okay, I got you. Just look at the Trans-Amurian steppes. With their frozen silence and unpromised lack of resources, face a challenge for our settlers. So do the virtual frontiers of technology. Do not be fooled. Color is a frontier, and every frontier must be tamed before it's settled. The disappointing screen size betrays its promises. Contrasted to its monochrome adversaries, it is admittedly pitiful. Matsushita doesn't expect for TC96G to be a wide success. It's far too expensive for common to purchase, and far too small for the affluent to consider switching their behemoth to the design. Maybe the design's only purpose is to crawl and perish in the elephant's graveyard of historical novelty. Yet if it does, its sacrifice will not be in vain. This is only the beginning of a new age. Matsushita's enemies will look at the TC-96G with envious eyes. Within days, they will work on their very own designs, promising to outdo them in grander ways. But it won't matter, because by then Matsushita will be one step ahead. For every feat reached by Hitachi or Sony, Matsushita keeps 3. Because the TC-96G's into television is a promise to tame the unknown. More Legco seats. That gets us to 42, which is very, very good. I think I want to make sure that test units in straight crossing. Got hot conditions and straight crossing, so I'll start heading up here. More Kolchak Kaiserreich reference. One Yakuza Sleeping Dogs crossover game now. Fuck, and I kind of do too. So what I get for suggesting it. His back slammed against a wall. A thud, then dull pain. The sharper pain would become later, he knew. They wanted money. Money he didn't have. Another week he begged. However, there were no gods in Guangdong. None that would listen. None pain. The crunch of fist over and over. Pulsing rhythms of pain. Continued. He did not stop. He was on the floor now. Blood flowed out of his mouth. Gravel and dust entered his mouth. His begging became incoherent. They kicked. They kicked again. They kicked again. They kicked again. They kicked again. Sources of pain became incoherent. Locations of pain became ill-defined. Now there's only one path. Eventually, the pulses stopped. Something coursed through his mind. Thought, speech, uncertain. Money. More money by next week. He'll not be able to pay. Would it be better to just die now? Life's cheap. Dead is not. After what seemed like an eternity, the lunch horn sounded, and Enrique threw down his shovel. He stretched back, groaned as his joints and bones cracked, and whipped rivulets of sweat off his brow. The heat of a jungle lay across him like a wet cloth. In the distance, the city of Manaus shimmered. Even the trees seemed to be sweating, moisture pouring off them and spattering the workers below. As he trudged over to their temporary camp, he spotted the rest of his fellow workers on the Trans-Amazonian highway, crowding around the corner of the mess tent. Curious, he walked over them. As he tried to muscle through the throng to see what was going on, he was met with complaints and grumbles. "Hey, come on, man. I've only been here 5 minutes," one guy complained as Enrique shoved past him. As he broke through the front of the crowd, cool air washed over him. In that moment, Enrique could think of no other sensation, as he had enjoyed as much in his 40 years on Earth. The air was coming down from some strange machine that had been bolted down to a corner of the tent, and it bore a logo reading Matsushita. My God, I never want to leave. Laughs and chorus agreements greeted that statement. Enrique couldn't help but smile. He'd been planning on quitting this shitty job within the next few weeks, and knew for a fact there was others in the dorm who were going to do the same. Maybe they'd reconsider. Summer was hot anywhere in Brazil, after all, and it wasn't like any of them would ever be able to afford this machine on their own. Blessed relief. Infrastructure. Get some more going in Chokai. 33 will start supporting that. I would like to go for an independent body because I think that'll help us out a little bit more. Kind of what I want to do. So I might need a little bit more time on that front. Get more seats. I don't honestly know, though. I could possibly do it now, but I'll play it safe. Let's go ahead and do provide some adequate funding. The best way to deal with the Yakuza is make use of already available assets, the police. Guangdong's police force, while useful, is woefully unprepared for dealing with the Yakuza. As such, Matsushita plans to allocate the funds to the police, so that they can do more to be more readily prepared to deal with and suppress the Yakuza. However, this is a tried and true method of dealing with crime. It has several issues. The Yakuza will be more secretive in their dealings and operations. The bureaucracy is a nightmare, and the police force has no guarantee of being uncorrupt. Well, we'll get working on it now, won't we? We gotta start somewhere. Where's our volunteers? There you go. Head back up here. You need to worry about fighting in jungle conditions. And then straight crossing is going to be a bitch to figure out. Although... actually, if we get over here and into Sulawesi, we'll be okay. Having tried Guangdong yet? God, that's a big boy focus tree. It is. It's only one of the 4 paths, too. So there's a couple different options. How are you, Turtle? Long time no see. How are you, friend? School bells rang out. Lamb walked out of class and right through the gates, outside of which his uncle awaited with the automobile. The car juttled and spurted all the way to the mulberry plantation that lay a few miles north of the village. As they surmounted a rise in the road, Lamb saw the rows of trees and the workers who ambled around those trunks, harvesting the cocoons of those pale silk moths who fluttered between trees, the workers, plantations, and the world. Lamb waved and smiled to those workers who returned the favor. They got off the car and walked through plantations. So, how are your studies? Learn to count to 10 yet? That's what they teach in the first grade, Uncle. I'm studying trigonometry, stuff like that. His uncle chortled. Smart boy! Your father would be proud. The mention of his father, Lamb's gaze fell downwards, gloom in his eyes. Why do you have to go? Father, I mean. It's an important time for this country. I don't get it either. Look at us. We've built this business for centuries, and now he goes to America, dreams in his head. Everyone in the family is giving them all to keep this afloat. What with Generalissimo caving into Japan at every turn. Revolutionaries like him, it's hard to understand what they're thinking of. Half listened to Uncle Rance, Lamb stared at a cocoon of pale silk moth as it hatched from its shell and whose wings fluttered away into the bright sunny day. Of moths and men whose fates beat away at the fluttering of those wings, dancing. So it's 31 degrees. All up in here, actually. Excellent. So if we can keep it hot, and heavy, of course. Expect nothing more from Mr. Dogboat 333 stream. Getting hot and heavy. Go ahead and reinforce the Policia. Go ahead and modernize the police here. And I'll downsize them. That gives them to the triads, but I'm probably more okay with the triads having control over there than the Kenpai Tai, honestly. And it's actually very, very close. We're actually very close to flipping over Chokai. The Yakuza might end up taking control there, which might not be the worst. I don't know. Bored? Not a lot to be doing right now. Well, you have a stream to watch, young turtle. So you do have something to watch, dang it. Just unit straight crossings. It's only hot, not very hot anymore. God damn it. We gotta fight our way up here. Oh, these guys are our allies. So we could... well, we could move our way up here, but that's not gonna do anything. So we gotta be fucking allied with these assholes. And they took the straight. This couldn't make it easy for us, could it? Could they? This whole path is just Yakuza Sleeping Dogs Cyberpunk 2027 crossover. Wei Chen Keanu Reeves tag team. Man, it's a lot of mixes and changes there, but you're not wrong. Sun Kia-ching, age 46, self-employed. The police interrogator droned on. Said he used to go by Tommy back when old King George was stolen money. The Brits ain't here no more. Haven't been for a long time. Right you are, Tommy. A lot's happened since then. In your case, 2 years possession, then 5 years for illegal gambling, and then... I ain't proud of it, but I did my time. Your sheet says so, don't it? So why you pulling me in? You have a business in the Republic, Tommy? A little. Bit of an understatement. The interrogator opened a briefcase containing several small bags of opium. This here is a little. What do you have is several thousands tons of this stuff going back and forth across the border each day. Bullshit. Prove it. We already have proven it, Tommy. I could show you my extensive list of files, but ultimately it comes back to the contents of this briefcase. For you, this briefcase is truth itself. Do you understand? I understand, you're a fucking dipshit pig. No matter, you'll understand soon. 2 seconds later, the case crashed into Sung's teeth. It's very hot there, but not hot enough. Why does it have to be so only really fucking hot, not god-awfully hot? Because I need it to be really hot. President Matsushita sighed wearily as he opened the front door, loosening his white tie with Sachiko. Hurried over to take his suit. The cotton fabric seemed to cling stickily to his shoulders before Sachiko's fingers, cool to a touch, released Masaharu from his sartorial prison. I'll never get used to having the seat. All the fans do is circulate hot air. Maybe you should do like the other gentleman in Koshu and stop wearing the suit and tie, Sachiko said, before placing a frigid glass of beer before Masaharu, fresh from the new Matsushita refrigerator. The work to get the company going is going to be more important than what you wear. I still have to look the part. But you're right. I'd be a fool for 5 years without a single factory or product. I'd be a damn fool. No. No matter how hard it is working with locals. Father wouldn't have let you stay if he thought this was a losing investment. Sachiko smiled while refilling Matsuharu's glass. I'm sure he's excited about the air conditioner finishing. Finally finishing, Masaharu appended silently. He received fewer calls from Osaka. There's no doubt Matsushita Sr. was getting tired of hearing every detail of the company's growing pains, but the unspoken pressure to deliver something remained. He'd call Osaka once the cost estimates for production model were complete, Masaharu thought. He'd much rather deliver good news for once, hopefully while basking in the relaxing breeze of Matsushita's gift to Guangdong. Success came from hard work, not dreams. It's very hot over here. If we could only declare war on those guys. Well, if these guys... Wait, so... No, we are attacking these guys. Hold on. I realize... Okay, I understand now. A bit better. Well, then we can still fight here. Yeah, we can still fight here. I got confused. Go along the... Yeah, I like what Kaiserreich did with the Amazon in Brazil. That was actually pretty good. Supply from rivers. It's a solid solution. Corruption ordinances. Go ahead and enforce higher standards, I think. Yeah. Due to a prolonged period of neglect from our predecessors, the Guangdong police force has grown apathetic and dilatory. Though we have implemented significantly more demanding and stringent standards, it's apparent that many lackadaisical personnel have quietly dismissed the newly raised bar and fully intend to disobey the command. This is utterly unacceptable. Many of the punishments have been set in place to prevent disobedience, have been found to be overly lenient, and as such will be extended and expanded upon, ranging from severe wage cuts to direct apprehension. The amendments to the punishments shall be transmitted to all police personnel, perhaps repercussions that will allow them to understand that yielding to the standards is mandatory. I'm glad I realized this before someone yelled at me in the comment section. I'll push through here. Fighting's going. And it took them long enough, but they took over the Far East. We're almost going to be done with the temperature soon enough. Oh god, he's got a gun. There we go. Now we just have unit crossings to figure out, which I think in theory, if we can make it there in time. I just want to retreat. Get out of there. How are we doing supply-wise? I think we're pretty good. Supply status. They could use some extra, but I'm not too worried. Actually. Could expand recruitment and Chinese support, actually. It's just between the Yakuza and the police at this point. Which feels like a metaphor somehow, but I don't know what the metaphor would be. If we build police boxes, we'd have control in Chokai, but we could also probably just expand recruitment and figure that out. 33 in favor. I'm tempted to give this a shot now, because there were events that let us boost our support before. Although I think I might... I don't know. Doing a Poland run? I am. Kaiserreich, Poland. I don't know what I'm going to do for it, but I'm going to do something for it. If you have any suggestions on paths to take, I'm open to them. We'll expand recruitment. Technological superiority and strategic dominance may all be essential aspects of powerful force. The true extent of their advantages cannot be reached unless it possesses the necessity of manpower. Now we have ensured adjustments to our systems. We shall fill the ranks of our police forces with suitable men, particularly an abundance of source of manpower, the Chinese. Promise of efficient wages will surely attract expendable Chinese men with fitting skills, who could easily be deployed upon the streets of Guangdong to overwhelm any feasible mounted opposition. We expect the recruitment campaign to bear bountiful fruit, which will undoubtedly aid us in our efforts to combat resistance. Walker Intermarian Commonwealth seems hella fun, with plenty of territory. Is that the communist one? Or syndicalist one, rather? God, it's gonna take a while for these guys to move, isn't it? Fuck me. When are they getting here? Oh, Jesus, fuck. How many days? We have 218 days, in other words. Hiroshi Yamauchi stood in front of a table of representatives from Matsushita Electronic, presenting various electronic products such as vacuum cleaners, rice cookers, television sets, and more than that Nintendo could pick up and make in order to secure a large endowment from the company and drive Nintendo's fortune up to the sky. As he finished up his presentation, Yamauchi felt nervous. No representative seemed enthused or even particularly engaged with any of the products that he proposed. Clearing a lump in his throat, Yamauchi broke the silence that had filled the room after his presentation ended. So, gentlemen, what do you think? Well, your plans aren't all that exciting, but we feel that there may be potential to what you're proposing. We're ready to move forward with production of one of those products for now. Then we'll see what happens if it succeeds or not. Now, if you may excuse us. That representative replied, getting out of his seat upon signing a paper and gesturing for the other representatives to leave with him. Some men left the room. Yamauchi got up to gathering all the documents he'd given out and tidying up. It wasn't what he expected, but it was good enough that they even got a deal in the first place. But was it even the right choice to make a move into consumer electronics? It's a big jump for us. I hope we can make it. We'll see. Are we? No, those are guys. Those guys are allied with us. God, why does this all have to have no infrastructure? It is horrible. We're moving at a snail's pace. We got all our stuff that we need. Honestly, I wonder what would happen if we just broke the unit down now. Hopefully it'll stop raining over here. I think that's one thing that's really holding us back, the rain. But yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to try to go after this now. So I'll save. And if this ends up blowing up in my face, so be it. It was worth a shot. We will reload to save and pursue it later. But let's do the corruption investigation ordinance. After enduring through the several onerous and arduous objectives involved, we finally reached the discussion of pivotal and the utmost importance. Previous arrangements and procedures currently are nothing but a series of unreinforced proposals. In order to truly initiate the struggle against nefarious practices and compose the anti-corruption body, our designs must be realized through a simple vote. If we manage to secure the vote in our favor, this will guarantee a substantial shift in Guangdong's administrative structure, and as we hope, a shift to our benefit. Going to introduce the ordinance. I don't think we actually need to immediately act on it, which gives us a little bit of room, I suppose. A little breathing room. Look at that. We got control in Shokai. Almost. Control in Shokan. Kind of tentative, but we still have it. Look at that. 2, 3, 4, 6 out of 7 areas under our control. Get working towards more civilian factories. Do it, brother. I hope we can do it. I believe we can do it, even. Economic check soon. We got our economic check covered. We're good there. Patagonia Light. The one thing I want to give credit to TNO for, even though it technically doesn't have much content already, it makes South America interesting. I actually find South America very interesting to pay attention to. Oh, that's good. The content that's in Brazil already is fucking incredible and makes me enjoy playing Brazil. Usually that's not the case with anything. In my experience in Hearts of Iron, although Kaiserreich had some moments of fun. I don't want to discount or knock down Kaiserreich, because Kaiserreich did some solid work. Guys need some funding, I just realized. Might work on that a little bit. Corruption. We purge corrupt officials. Pillars of smoke over the horizon. Several weeks ago, Lam had heard that the Japanese made landfall in Guangdong. Their supplies for divisions scouring over the villages that dotted the coastline for supplies and pillage. Stories from fleeting refugees painted images of men in khaki-covered uniforms waving bolt-action rifles, the sun seeming to bake the crowd beneath them. Pillars of smoke stood over the horizon to call of distress. Lam and his uncle quickened their step, the firewood on their backs, taking a rack on their backs. Kaiserreich or Kaiser Redux? Oh, I think I do know about that, yeah. Through late autumn mud, they walked, imprinting their footsteps on fresh, wet soil. Branches snapped, the underbrush rustling in their wake. They saw the wooden roofs of the village standing tall, intact and in silent relief. However, just beyond the gates, those men in khaki-colored uniforms stood, waving rifles at the assembled villagers. Hands were raised, some in alarms, others in defiance. From the window to the wall, the barrel of muskets, gleamed at the soldiers, ready to fire. The Japanese left shortly after, bolts of silk in their hands. The rifles in their hands still pointed towards the village. Uncle chased after them to the soldiers' alarm. After 2 minutes of uncommunicative exchange, the officer offered him a quizzical look, then spoke something that Lam would spend a lifetime trying to recall. A flash, the officer raised and cocked his rifle, firing at point-blank range into Uncle's right foot. He screamed while the Japanese marched away laughing. The rest of the village rushed at the sound and bore Uncle to his home. Lam heard him mutter, "First Guangzhou, now us," over and over. Things will never be the same again. Okay, so let me check. We have 34 votes. This will get the voting to commence. If we maintain our influence, that will help us. We might even get the numbers from that. But I think we want to stick to this if we end up... Because I think we'll be able to go down a level of corruption. And that'll help us with GDP, government support, all that stuff. That's what I want to do optimally, but I don't know if we can do that. Most anticipated TNO countries are Guangdong, now its name doesn't really count, Paraguay, and the UAR. Paraguay is an interesting pick, but I can see that. We'll try this. We'll see if we can do it now. If not, we'll reload a save and figure something else out to do. It's time to address the long overdue issue of corruption, the tumor that festers in the deepest sections of Guangdong's core apparatus, draining vital funds and workplace efficiency. Efficacy. And much deliberation is apparent that a wiser option will be assemble an anti-corruption body free of the influence of any of the corporations of Guangdong, something that will determine each case with equal judgment. This system would be impartial and efficient, but also cleanse us of any potential accusations for controlling a marionette. Though this will impact Matsushita correspondingly, it doesn't mean that once the issue is over and exterminated, it won't be the ultimate benefactor. It is a blow we must endure. So we're not France content. Which France content? I'm gonna guess the answer to that is yes. Oh, for fuck's sake, they took a fucking... Kevin? I don't want to say anything too quickly now, but... Oh, that's not good. We'll still be able to use a crossing over here, I think. So that helps. Economic check soon. Uncanny. For God's Arvik and Fatherland, true. Wang Qinyuan took care to appear innocuously delayed as he peeled away from the gaggle of men coming off the factory floor. It was past 11, and the yawning security guards were as keen as anyone else to hurry home. One of the few days that the night shift was cut mercifully short. For 20 minutes, Wang waited as a throng of workers dispersed. The last of the overseers heaved and shut the factory door, shutting with the lights off. As his eyes adjusted, Wang watched as a few men stepped back into the open. Lau the welder put together stools in a tight circle around an impromptu cardboard table. Cheong, the machinist, laid out some bowls borrowed from the cafeteria. Ip, the assembler, groaned as he put down a makeshift platter of stirred-up cake, dumplings, and a few oranges. It was small, but it was free. It was well known that there would be nothing for them in their Spartan company dormitory, and the cooks had understood, hiding the plates in the kitchen refrigerators for them to retrieve. Later, finally Wang brought out his contribution, a smuggled bottle of cheap rice wine, lacking everything but potency. The assembled company clapped quietly as Wang poured each man a small serving. On any other day, they were nameless cogs in a machine, taken from their homes and families in the country to feed the hunger of the free pearls. But for one night, under the faint glow of the emerging lights, they could be a family of their own. Gon Hei Fat Joy. I remember hearing that saying before, actually. I think we learned about it in school when it was a... Well, Ireland's been reunited, it seems. At what cost, though? Our economy is struggling a little bit. Deficit's growing. I'll lower that a little bit. You went from Russian to Irish real quick, Gav. I love it. Matsushita knew intellectually that this was the right thing to do. Law enforcement should be beyond reproach, and this was especially important with a new committee meant to specifically tackle government corruption. If it was believed that this committee was just part of a corrupt power play, its legitimacy would be destroyed from the very start. So, he had to make its operation completely independent of his authority. It's the only way that people would take it seriously. Still, it gave him pause. Sure, the new agency would put a limit on the shenanigans the members of the Legislative Council could get up to, which would be one less headache for him. But it would also limit his own flexibility. Sometimes things that from the outside could seem like corruption were necessary for efficient operation of government. Whatever the case, it's too late to go back on it. It was out of its hands now, as it should be. 38 out of 100. So, yeah, we'll just go down to corrupt. We lose a seat. Are we about to bribe our way to a anti-corruption bill? Timer. Also like to focus real quick, because I have a creeping feeling this might not work out. Especially if we don't get any extra events for this. We might have done the... Maybe you just did it too early, honestly. Get back to work. Yes, yes. And if we're not going to get any, I think we just got to reload the save. Which does suck a little bit, but what are you going to do? Well, reload the save, obviously. Yeah, that's alright. I think with that Slidell, I'll leave it there. So, thanks as always, people who are watching, for watching. Like, dislike if you didn't. Comments, no comment section below. Links down in the description box below as well. Until next time. Oh, well, there goes the game. Good timing. Good timing. Bye-bye now.